Alrighty, fellas, yo, what's up? Good morning, good morning. My name is Patrouski. Welcome to another PokeMMO stream recap. I believe this is stream recap 318, if I am on track. Let me find my starting soon. There we go. Boop. How are we doing today? Good morning, good morning. We're fresh out of the shower, and I have some shiny hunting to do today. We're at 31,605 encounters since my last shiny, which was a giraffe ridge at around 3,000 encounters, so it was a decently lucky one. Now, I do want to start off by breeding some Pokemon for profit today. I've heard from a few people that it's a little awkward right now, that the breeding market is a little tough, and it definitely goes through ups and downs, but I want to hopefully show people, like, even though it's tough, and I'm gonna have to like start from, I haven't bred for profit in like 2 weeks or so. It's gonna take me a sec to figure out what Pokemon are hot, right? That's the biggest thing with breeding for profit, or most money-making methods of Pokemon. If you're trying to make Pokeyen, you have to constantly be bouncing around and trying new things. You cannot be breeding Cyndaquils every day for a month and still expect to make Pokeyen. It takes more than that in Pokemon. Pokemon is a game that requires variety. Now, for example, recently, Torkoals and Spiritombs went up in decent value and decent demand because they got changed tiers. Torkoal went down to UU, and Spiritomb went down to NU. However, I think that those markets have kind of cooled off. If I'm not mistaken, we could go check those and see what's going on. And also, there were no PvP changes in May. That's always a tough situation when I feel like most people are doing pure yen methods right now, gym reruns, trainer reruns, etc. When people are doing, you know, and there's no tier changes, raids aren't active, there's not a whole lot of demand right now. I'm gonna be honest, there's not a whole lot of demand for a crazy specific species. Right now, we're relying on people having personal goals like myself, right? Going for rare egg shinies, going for Audinos, going for Porygons, going for alphas, right? Shalfa hunters. We're relying on people having personal goals, which hopefully we should encourage and hopefully we should have in the game to help out the economy and help people, you know, make Pokeyen and make everything go around. So I'm going to check out the market today and see if I can see where someone is working on a goal, working on something. I actually just checked a second ago and I saw it might have been sold already. There was a Weedle. Yeah, there was a Weedle with 31 special attack for like 1K, and that was super underpriced. So I'm going to browse around the GTL until we find a decent Pokemon, a decent market to breed for profit. And then we'll go do some shiny hunting. Thanks for joining me today. Hopefully the PokeMMO community is up to something a little interesting today, which I think it'll probably be a chill day for the most part. A chill Friday, shiny hunting, and making some Pokeyen, which this game is all about, that consistent progress. Not every day is going to be super exciting, and I try to be honest about that in my videos. Here, I'm going to check out the Milotic market in a sec, but this is actually insane to me. And like, to the average player, this is probably like not a big deal, and I get that. It probably makes sense. Never thought I'd see the day. Milotic is an NU, dude. And it's like doing fine. It's like obviously not oppressive. 51% win rate, 6% usage, but like, I will never forget Milotic was an OU not so long ago. Yeah, what's crazier is like Milotic was one of the most hyped up Pokemon to ever release in PokeMMO. For those who don't know, we had Phoebus back in like 2012, 2013. We had Phoebus in the game like 4 to 6 years before Milotic was even able to be. You couldn't evolve it. You could get Phoebus, but you couldn't evolve it in Milotic. It was very interesting. It was very overhyped. People prepared like 2x31 like good IV Phoebuses back in like 2012, 2013 because they were like hyping up the preparation for Milotic one day coming out. And Milotic, when it came out, was like really good or pretty good in OU, but I think it might have been a little bit of a letdown for people. But I don't know, man. It's a weird. Now it's fallen so far. It's been one of the most overhyped. The falls of Pokemon, and it makes sense. Power creep happens and adaptations happen. It makes sense. I'm not saying it shouldn't be the case. It's just weird to process. That's all I'm saying. It's just a weird thing for the human to process, dude. To see Milotic be at one point the most hyped up OUmon of all time to now an NU, a decent NU Pokemon at 6% usage is eye-opening. Okay, I feel like the biggest problem right now is that it's a storyline market. When it's a storyline market, breeding for profit is not nearly as good just because the base cost of like a 2x31 breed is just more than people want to spend on a storyline mon, right? For the most part, it depends. But like, if you're breeding a 2x31, but you're buying 2 braces, right? That's 20K. Usually the mons are like 10K a piece. Like usually like 30 to 40K to breed a 2x31 Pokemon. That's normal, right? Most people don't want to spend I'd say 50K is the max you want to spend on a storyline mon if it's like perfect. That's like pretty good, right? But most players don't want to spend that much on storyline mons, so it's a weird thing to factor in. But if it is a storyline metagame, and it's because there's so many new players, a lot of content creators just trying out PokeMMO for a day, and that's bringing people in to test it out, and a lot of short-term stuff, and hopefully some of those players stick around, right? But I do kind of feel like I'm gonna look for things like, if it's a storyline market or a beginner player market, I'm looking for things like Gengar, look for things like Dragonite, maybe Charizards, like especially hidden ability Charizards, so they're also good for raids. Kind of those it doesn't make any logical sense. Well, I mean, it kind of does, right? I'm more so appealing to emotion with these sales and like the nostalgia and attachment to it, rather than the someone being like, oh, I need this Pokemon for Jimmy runs to make more Pokeyen. Like, no, this is gonna be someone who's like, I just beat the storylines, maybe I need something for the Elite Four, whatever, and I want to complete this game. I think on a lot of players' perspectives, a lot of the average player completing the game after beating one storyline or 5 storylines might be getting their favorite Pokemon as like 5 times 31 or like pretty good, and then just leveling it to 100, and that's like completing the game. I think that was what that back in the Fire Red, like back in like original not Pokemon Fire Red, I would just level as many Pokemon to 100 as possible. That's like the kid brain was like, that was like the end game of like completing the game and stuff. So I'm gonna see what like fan favorite mons we can breed. Not really a breed for profit, but a quick flip here. It's 1k for this carp. I would go ahead and just sell it for like 8k. It was just 20 plus. The next cheapest one was like 10k. It's just 20 plus in attack and speed and adamant nature. This is a perfectly like super cheap. That's a good example of like if you're getting into flipping, when you're like beginning flipping in PokeMMO, look for those like really small little margins. You don't need to, I don't recommend, if you're getting into flipping, don't shiny flip, right? Don't buy like 500k comps, right? If you're like getting into flipping, just do like the little like, okay, buy this for 20k, sell it for 30k, buy this for 4k, sell it for 10k, like do those flips. That's a beautiful way to make those little increments and get into flipping. It's a great way to start. What the fuck is this Ditto? That's got to be a snipe, right? There's no way Dittos, I know Dittos are cheap, there's no way that's supposed to be 5k. This is 25 25 25 20. It's even Brave, which is like kind of relevant. I bought that for 5k. There's no way. This is lit for 20 minutes. There's no way they're supposed to be this cheap, right? That's cope. We'll buy that too. Am I coping now? Just, I could sell them both back for like 9k. We're just doing like beginner flip. I don't know how it turned into this today, but we're doing here. Welcome to my tutorial on beginner flips. We're just finding all the perfect beginner little flips today. A perfect example of like, I think I have a beginner's flipping guide to Dittos. If you're interested, like that one, yeah, that one insta sold. We bought it for 5k. We make like 2k on it after listing fee. It's nothing crazy, but it's sold for 9k. We make like 2k profit, 3k. But that's like little sales like that happen so fast. Exactly what you want. You want your Pokeyen back fast when you're new to flipping. It's really, really important. Here, Eevee is always a classic. I like to look up some Eevee. Look at this, 4,000 Pokeyen for this, for 20 plus on all the fences. I'll go ahead and buy that. Eevees are usually a decent breed for profit because they can be turned into so many Pokemon, similar to Rotom, right? Rotom is very much the same way. This one actually is totally... Yeah, we're going to do a few... We're going to get back in the swing of things. Do a few decent or like mass breeds for profit to some extent. Here's Rotom. I'm actually going to go ahead and for Rotom, I'm going to do this thing and then go ahead and do like have 4 of those stats. 9k, what about have 3 of these stats? Still like 8k is the cheapest. Okay, let's go back to have 4. 9k is the cheapest one here by far. It just needs Spadef. We're gonna buy that one and go for that breed. Okay, so now we have 3 Pokemon we want to breed for profit. Let's start with this Eevee. I don't remember exact numbers, but I'm pretty confident that these will be breeds for profit based on the deals I was able to look for on the GTL. Should we go 31 speed on this, or should we just go for... I mean, the messed up thing is that this could arguably just be flipped as a UT. Oh man, for like Vaporeon, what here, or for like a Umbreon. There's gotta be an evolution that runs relaxed, right? I feel like relaxed has got to be used on something. What's Vaporeon doing right now in NU? Or is Vaporeon not in NU anymore? Okay, UU, Vaporeon. Oh, UU, sorry. Vaporeon, Bold, Modest. Okay, nothing's really running relaxed. Yeah, I feel like this might be a better flip than a breed for profit. Honestly, it's kind of close. I bought it for 9k. Let's just price check it really quick. sometimes I overreach a little bit and will do breeds for profit when you could just flip it. And that saves you so much time. If you can just flip it, you should. Yeah, like this is... Obviously, mine's not worth this by any means. But... I'm going to go for the breed. I think I am going to go for the breed after all of this. Okay, let's go find a Ditto. It's going to be an expensive breed is the problem. It actually is probably going to be worth to brace the special attack. But we'll see which is cheaper. So I'm going to do this. Let's do 24s actually. A lot of people search 25s like I do. So sometimes it's actually cheaper to search 24s. Let's do Ditto. 32k there. We see a cheaper one because of the 24. Let's instead change this to 25 and get rid of this. We'll brace the HP. We see cheaper ones. You got to switch around your IVs, right? This is 24k. I think this is worth it. I'm going to go ahead and buy this. So 24k plus, we'll count the cost on this. The Eevee was like 9k, or was this the, it was either the 4k one or the 9k one. We'll count this one at I think it was 4k. So 4k plus 24k plus we're about to buy 2 braces. So it's plus 20k. The 2 braces is rough. 48k for this. I actually don't know if this will make a profit. We'll have to see. Let's see how it comes out. All right, here's what it looks like. 25 plus in all the stats, 31 speed. This might still be a profit. We actually do want to check whether we should make it female or not. Let's do 31. It's 25 plus in everything, correct? I don't think it can be stopped from that. Let's do 25 plus. Oh, we're making a profit. Now, wait, this is not comparable. 3 times 31. Don't get confused. That's not comparable. We don't roll a nature. Female's 165. But look at these stats. This is insane, actually. Who is breeding these, dude? That's crazy. Okay. I think the best I think we do actually want to make it female. Generally, female EVs go for like significantly more. Oh, but it costs 21k. I don't know if it has enough stats. I'm going to go random on it. I don't think it has enough stats. Usually once you reach like 2 times 31 on species like this, you want to go ahead and pay for the gender. But on the 1 times 31, I'm not going to worry about it. All right, next up, hopefully we make a profit on that, but I might be a little sketchy. This Eevee was 9k. Now this Eevee, I'm just going to go ahead and Everstone and put nature on and breed it as like a budget Eevee for someone who wants to use it for that purpose. It has all the IVs that it needs. I think for this one, we grab the bold and go ahead and go that way. It's 12k for that. And then plus the Everstone, like makes like 17k. This was like 10k. This is like a 27k Eevee breed. Let's go see what this, we'll just calc our total cost and then calc our total sales after we list them all off. So here's what this looks like. Randomly rolling the gender. It's 20 plus in every single stat that it needs, plus bold nature. Let's go check on the GTL what this would go for after it's done being bred. It cost me 27k to make it. Hopefully it's a profit. I think it should be, but I could be wrong. I think, now, once again, it's really hard to find budget EVs. Every EV is like multiple 31s. I would sell this for like, depending on if it was EV train and stuff, this is like 50 to 100k. I spent 27k on it. This is like 50 to 100k pretty easily, in my opinion, as a nice little UT. Take that all day. That'll be a nice profit for sure. Next up is Rotom. Rotom, historically, one of my favorite Pokemon to breed for profit. One of the most success I've had breeding Pokemon for profit is with Rotom. We're gonna look for 31 there, 31 high stats here, 25 plus here. If we need to like roll something, we can maybe do that. No, we just have a Ditto for 9k because Dittos are so cheap. That's crazy. That is a crazy cheap Ditto for this breed. Beautiful. And I want to start just cranking out breeds like this where it's like nice and fast paced, especially because a big reason I'm doing this, I'm 31k dry. I'm kind of hoping for a rare shiny to some extent, you know? I'm going to be honest, that's part of it. So this Ditto was 9k plus the brace plus 19k. And then the Rotom was 9k, so plus 9k. So we spent a total... Okay, I feel a lot better now after calculating all the numbers. I spent a total of 103,000 Pokeyen on these 3 breeds. I'm getting a weird lag today. I don't know if the sign the servers are full or what's going on. I'm not sure. Too many players? I don't know. Maybe just server issues. You know, it could be either way. 103k for those 3 breeds. I'm very, very happy with that. That will, I think this Eevee alone could sell for like 50 to 100k. and then a few of these. I think we'll definitely make a profit. So I'm excited to see how these hatch out. This Eevee came out. It randomly rolled Rash, which like is relevant. It's not amazing. It's like a budget nature, but that's super relevant. Let's go see Eevee. We'll do also wait, I don't know if it was meant to. I thought it was lucky. It rolled 25 plus and everything, which I don't know if I had that in lock. Only 31 speed. Dude, look how nothing is comparable though. It's really crazy how there's like nothing comparable. If I was a newer player, this would be a really hard price check. I personally am gonna go ahead and list this for like, I think 80k. I think this is like more than fair. You probably could go 100k on this. I think 80k is more than fair. We'll see if that sells. Look at that lag. While I'm waiting for these other ones to hatch, I have some things to relist. Also, ignore these. Okay, wait a minute. But I have some things to relist, so I'm gonna go grab like this Dragonite. It didn't sell. I'm gonna quick relist it for 80k. This Tentacool is not, it hasn't finished yet. This Ninetales still hasn't sold. We'll go 280 on it. What's next? Larvesta, really expensive Larvesta, 450k. I think this was back when the Larvesta economy, it was less in it. I bet you people have bred for profit. I made a lot of money. So much of PokeMMO, I say it all the time, but like it's just finding the right markets. You can't just like do the same thing every day. You log in and expect to make profit. You have to switch it around. There was a time where I found the Larvesta market was like super underserved, and I was like, holy shit, this is insane profits. But like, look, now it's now it's adjusted. Markets adjust, right? This was, I listed 450k when I listed it. Now, it might have been overlisted to some extent, but I don't think I overlisted it this much. This is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Now, the nature is relevant. It is modest. It's one breed away from being perfect, but it's a really awkward breed as well, though. Let's see what I could sell this for. The next comparable one is Rash for 400k. I think the 450k honestly still might be about right. But no, this one's, I'm sorry, this one's 5 times 31. No, that's insane. Okay, so I probably just go like 380 on this now and hope that sells. And that might even be overpriced on that. I'll be super honest. So we'll see how that goes. Karakarok for 50k. These are my storyline mons. I think I'm gonna, any of these ones that I did in that one video, I'm gonna go ahead and just sell these back for 40k. I think that's super fair. I think 2 out of 5 or 2 out of 4, 2 out of 5 of the storyline mons I made in that video sold, which is honestly like about what I expected. So luckily we like kind of turned out okay there. Didn't even check the IVs on this Torkoal. I'm just gonna quick list it for like 100k. You reach a point where like you definitely want to just like crank through things instead of like ultra price checking everything, just getting your Pokeyen flowing. If people want to flip me, if I'm giving people the opportunity to flip me, honestly, that's totally fine with me, you know? Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, usually I like to be optimistic and push back when people, I think people often complain about markets when it's not necessarily like as bad as they're saying. It's pretty bad right now, dude. I don't know, like, and I would largely blame it on the severe lack of demand, lack of raids, lack of like players needing new mons right now, and then just the alphas, man. I've said it for probably about a year now, if not longer. I think alphas are really hurting the economy, in my personal opinion. They bring too many good IV mons into the game, and they diminish the reason to catch Pokemon, and they diminish the values. The fact that a 20 plus in every single stat that it needs, modest, perfect nature, 2 times 31 Pokemon is 70k is wild. I don't know how. It's harder than ever. It's harder than ever for new and intermediate players to make Pokeyen outside of Jimmy runs and trainer. Jimmy runs and trainer runs are really good and never been better, to be fair. But if you're trying to like do other money making aside from Jimmy runs and I don't know, it's really rough, man. There are things like Ditto farming and Kato, but I feel like money making methods outside of Jimmy runs and outside of trainer runs have gone down from like 250, 300k to like 150k. I feel like intermediate, I feel like how much Pokeyen you should be making, that number is going down because the market is so rough. It's so crazy. Yeah, this is also we're looking at the water AA group. This is a good A group. Like, this is like usually a pretty demanded A group. The fact that this is that price is wild to me. Okay, all of our mons have hatched. We know 103k was our total cost. We're gonna add like 10k on this just for the listing fees to get that knocked out of the way. We're gonna list one Eevee for 80k, just listed, not sold. Whenever I do calculations like this, it's always expected profit, which just has to be the way in daily PokeMMO content creation. I try to follow up when I can if things have sold. Most things sell, but not everything does. Next up is this Eevee. bold nature. Let's price check this. 20 plus. I'm gonna do, even though it's 25 in a lot of these, I'm gonna do 20 plus and everything and see what comes up. Eevee, and we just see like nothing comparable. I think it's gonna be much cheaper than the other one. It's probably gonna be like, I think 50k is fair for this. This is like a really good like beginner Eevee UT for like any. I think this is a really fair price. That should go to a new player who wants a should go to a new player who wants to get into PvP and wants to build a Vaporeon or their favorite evolution or whatever, right? So, okay, next up is this Rotom. So we're at 17k profit. You could have bred these way faster. I took a long time to breed these because I'd read chat and get distracted and yap around. That's how I enjoy it. But you could have done this a lot faster. Let's do Rotom. The nature is naive, which is irrelevant. This is way overpriced. Even though it's comparable, which is disgusting, this is way overpriced. Up for 10 days. I'm gonna list this for 60k. I'm kind of under listing today because the market is so slow. Trying to get things sold. We're gonna do minus 60k. I think it's pretty safe to say I made about 77k profit on those. Nothing crazy, but you can still make profit. Like, hopefully this shows. Also, those breeds were not expensive. Like, if you have 100k Pokeyen, you could do those breeds the same way I just did. Now, if I were to like up the ante, let's do one more breed today, and then we'll go shiny hunt. Because I do want to do. I've seen some really, really good success on hidden ability Charizard breeds because people need them for raids. But I wonder if there's even. Wait a minute. This is like, okay. Let's see. What's the cheapest one? The cheapest one's gonna be like 268k, but let's see. Charizard. This one is modest. This one's like raid ready. These are all raid ready. Huh. Is it because the fire patch? Is that how people are? So buying a interesting ability patch fire 135k. I bet you what people are doing is they're breeding the Charmander, the Charizard. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see if there's. This is a market that I've done before and made crazy profit on. Let's see if there's still crazy profit to be made. So 135k for that. Now we don't want hidden ability access. We want double 31 though. I mean, if we could just find a Char on the market that has these, and I could just plop a fire patch on. What? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. Huh? Okay. I mean, catch me. How long have you been listening for? 17 hours? Okay. That's free money. That's free money, chat. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Sometimes you can find a blip in the market due to a lack of education, due to a lack of knowledge, a lack of game knowledge. Now it has to be re-EV'd, which is kind of not great. Rot-row. But, I'll do 2. Let's buy that. That's free money. That's a blip in the market that people didn't see. Now I'm gonna list these for 260k to kind of try to quick sell them before it gets fixed. Before someone notices, like, oh shit, these are probably worth more money. Oh fuck. Huh. That's not the right copy pasta. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how fast those sell. But yeah, that's a good example of sometimes you find the market is so cooked. I mean, that's a good example of like a knowledge gap. So we take those. Now let's go do some actual shiny hunting. Okay, I did a poll on where I should shiny hunt, and it is far and above. 82% of votes, 14 out of 17 votes went to legendary and Kanto. It's only been up for like 30 seconds or so. So I think we're gonna go for this legendary chance today. I'm gonna head down to Ruin Valley. If you pop lures here, I believe there's a chance for, I think it's Jolteon, and which I don't really super care for as a shiny hilariously, but it'd be cool to have an Eevee you could breed down to whatever evolution you want to. Jolteon, and then the big one here is Yanma. Yanma's here, and I would love, that is like my most wanted shiny at this spot by far. It's a beautiful, beautiful Pokemon. I'm gonna pop a baby Repel, walk my way down to Ruin Valley, and see what happens today. Yo, we're bringing back the Patrouski food takes because someone asked an amazing question. How do you feel about multiple cheeses in a grilled cheese? Or are you a grilled cheese purist? I think if you aren't putting multiple types of cheeses in a grilled cheese, you're setting yourself back 20 years culinarily. I think multiple cheeses on a grilled cheese like adds to such complexity and adds to texture. The like stretchiness of a mozzarella versus other things is like so amazing. I think you've got to do it, man. Gouda, American pepper jack. I think American and pepper jack is a good foundation, and you can even add like a mozzarella. I like mozzarella a lot. I think mozzarella is a really good accent cheese because it like makes things like stretchier and like helps texture a lot, but has like a pretty mild flavor for the most part. But I still love mozzarella. I think American pepper jack mozzarella is the perfect grilled cheese. I like throwing in some meat in my grilled cheese. I'm kind of a meat, you know, a meaty guy, I guess, you know, for better or for worse. I like to throw in some like lunch. If I'm making a grilled cheese, like I like a lunch meat ham or like some sort of meat in the grilled cheese. Jalapenos could go bomb on a grilled cheese. Add stuff to your grilled cheese. No need to you know, no need to keep it. If you want to keep it simple and you want the nostalgia, more power to you. But you can make like some amazing grilled cheeses, and I feel like people are not willing enough to experiment to see the heights a grilled cheese could present. Okay, I usually don't do part 2 of a clip like this, but it's actually so relevant, I've got to say it. Top 5 proteins that go on a grilled cheese go. Number 1, it might be pepperoni. No one does it. Pepperoni on a grilled cheese goes bonkers. Goes ridiculous mode. The greases that excrete from a pepperoni slice when like cooked goes so well on a grilled cheese. Pepperoni, I like ham. I don't know if it's like ranked in order, but like pepperoni ranked 1, everything else is whatever. Ham, grilled chicken, turkey. I don't know if I would ever do like roast beef or something like that on a grilled cheese. I don't know if that's for me. If that's for you, more power to you, but that's pepperoni number 1. I think pepperoni adds such a nice, beautiful meme. And then bacon. A lot of it's like pork things. Bacon, the grease adds extra flavor. Typical American. I mean, it's true. Yeah, but I don't know if I've ever personally made bacon on a grilled cheese, but I imagine it goes hard. Yo, Mr. Streamer, how much do you think the ability patch fire would skyrocket if Speed Boost Blaziken was ever released? It's an interesting question because if it did ever release, I genuinely think the fire patch would go up to like 2 mil or like something like it would go crazy. Now, having said that, it's now with meta games and like something like Speed Boost Blaziken, like power creep, things like that. Let's go to Smogan. What tier is Speed Boost Blaziken in right now? In like Gen 9 PvP, right? Which is very much power crept to what's it called? Blaziken Gen 9 set. Smogan? I don't know, whatever. Okay, I found it. Yeah. Let's see what tier it's in nowadays. Then UUBL. So like Bandit of UU, correct? Like in OU, basically OU. OU in Gen 9. That's pretty impressive. Honestly, I was expecting it to kind of be like UU or whatever, but it's kind of like on. I mean, it's on like the line or whatever. The PokeMMO devs seem to be very adamantly against adding Speed Boost Blaziken. It just seems way too strong in PvP and in PVM. I don't know if it'd be as efficient in PvM, to be fair, but like it seems way too strong. It seems way too it's just insane, right? The fact that Blaziken can hit both styles super effectively, but like I don't know. Maybe there's a world where I could see it happening in PokeMMO, but I don't know if we're there yet. Basically, OU despite power creep, I think it's really impressive. I'm pretty sure it was in Uber's tier for a few years, correct? I'm not the good PvP guy to ask about like PvP history. From my understanding, like Speed Boost Blaziken is way too strong to be added to PokeMMO. But that doesn't mean one day it's not possible, is what I would say. Maybe it's possible, but I think we're pretty darn far from that right now. Sticky webs would be a nice thing to have in the game. I would assume that would combat that to some extent, but maybe lead Blaziken doesn't really matter. I don't know. Sticky webs would be a fun thing to play around, but yeah, it's a good question. Like, obviously, I think Fire Patch would legitimately spike to like 2 mil, similar to Grass Patches when Contrary Superior was in the game, was added, right? Now they're a lot cheaper, but Contrary Superiors were about 2 mil for a while. Let's go check what a hidden ability Superior is nowadays, right? Nowadays it's like 100. Yeah, they're pretty cheap. They're like pretty reasonable to get into. These were 2 mil for a while. Hidden ability Superior. It was super expensive. This is a good quick question. Can you put hidden ability on a shiny that doesn't have it when you catch it? Yes, you can, but it costs a fair bit of Pokeyen. You have to use prismatic pearls, and for shinies you have to use 3 of them. I did this with my wait, Prism Scale is an interesting. Isn't this a super rare item? Yeah. I was gonna say, isn't this a super rare item? I believe it is. This is the old item. Wasn't this like the old item that was used to evolve Phoebus, but it's not needed anymore? That caught me off guard. Anyways, prismatic pearls. So Yeah, you have to use 3 of these. What you would do is, let's say I did with my Rapidash, right? I had a shiny Rapidash that didn't have Flame Body, and I wanted Flame Body on it so I could like Flame Body hatch Edge with a shiny, right? You would have to buy 3 of these. So it's like 9, about a million Pokeyen. And you'd have to go over to the GTL and also get a Rapidash or a Ponyta with hidden ability access. And then essentially what you do is you suck the hidden ability access off of the Rapidash or off of one of the same species onto your shiny Rapidash, and you transfer it over, and it consumes the prismatic pearls. So you can like transfer hidden ability access on any mon. On most mons it's only 1 prismatic pearl, but on shinies it's 3 prismatic pearls. It's a great quick question. It does seem like Chad is agreeing that the lag in game is kind of unanimous today. Usually it's like a personal thing. You're like, you know, client side. Yeah, Tom said he's lagging. Fly Happy, T-Suna, Fuzzy. So there is a weird bit of, I don't know if that implies anything or what's going on, but there is a weird bit of server disruption today on PokeMMO for sure, which is important to call out so people don't feel like they're crazy when they're, you know, lagging a bit. Are you kidding me, Danny? This is continuing the saga. Yesterday, Danny got mentioned in the stream recap because he got 2 shinies in one day. You're telling me you got a third? You got 3 shinies in one day? That's a Patrouski luck moment. That is like really, that's like about the peak, like, dude, that's insane. That's unbelievable, man. Fucking congrats. The time span is also crazy. 1 at 3 a.m., 1 at 2 p.m., and then 1 at 9 p.m. What were the encounter numbers for the Roselia, if you don't mind? I know the Seadra you said was like 1,100. 2 months, no shinies into 3 in one day. Dude, there you go. That's insane, man. That's insane. I've been driving for 2 months, but look, so was he, man. There, you know, it evens out. Roselia was 4,400. Like, I mean, that's obviously very lucky, but like, it's kind of reasonable. Hope everybody goes that lucky, you know. Do fucking hell yeah. Just appreciate the lucky days when you have them, because unlucky days are gonna happen. Unlucky months and years are gonna come. It's good to hype up and appreciate people doing the lucky times when you can, you know. Yeah, 324 hours is insane. It's crazy, dude. Congratulations, Danny. That's awesome to see, man. It's what you want to see. I know you guys might hate me. Just a hyper short stream today. A little 2-hour, 15-minute Friday stream. I hope you guys had fun. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I had a lot of fun. Just getting some shiny hunting, some encounters, some breeds for profit, and just getting a few. This is an underworking day. You know, call it emoji. I'll be honest. Like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see videos like this every single day. Pokemon videos. I have some cool videos coming up over this weekend if you want to see those. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday, usually at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, the best way to do so by far this month is HelloFresh. Link is first thing in the description. You get yourself some awesome food, get some of your grocery shopping done out of the way, as well as it's the best way to support the stream, as well as we have something called HelloFresh incentives, where for every single HelloFresh sub, it adds to the streamathon at the end of May. We're just going to add an hour to the streamathon. Each HelloFresh sub adds 1 hour, 10 mysterious Pokeballs that I will open, and a prize box Pokemon to be given away. And there's also more things on top of that. So, HelloFresh sub, best way to support the stream, and you get yourself something in return, which is awesome, right? So, I will see you guys later. Have a good one. See you Monday. Peace, Reno. Yo, Patrouski here, and I wanted to thank you personally for watching the video until the very end. I really, really appreciate that. And if your name is on this list, thank you to the moon and back, because you allow me to even make these videos by supporting the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.